John Campbell here with the market report from Winter Livestock for the week of November the 16th. The handle a little over 9,200 cattle. These calves pretty much steady affair right across the board. You can make a case for these 5 and 6 weight cattle to be $1 or $2 cheaper. Bright spot in the market I thought was the 7 weight calves. Feedlots are kind of out of yearling, so they're buying these big 7 weight calves. I thought they might have been $2-3 better from 130 to 140. Heifers just kind of 10-15 back now versus 2 months ago when they might have been $20-30 back. Butcher cow market was steady. The exception being some of these thinner cows. These packers are putting them on feed to kind of fill the gap over the Christmas holiday time. If you're watching along, boy, you've got a feel for these small business owners, and especially these restaurants. They got them cut down to 25% occupancy and limiting their hours. And now they're coming out, these health people, and saying, Mr. Small Businessman, you also need to police your customer base and your employees, and make sure they know to wear a mask, and make sure they know to stay 6 foot apart. Okay, it's your responsibility to tell them, because hell, they can't help themselves. Well, guess what? The word's out. They didn't just come off a turnip truck or under a rock. We get it. They've heard it. But to threaten these businesses with fines and going to shut them down because they're supposed to police your science that maybe has about as much credibility to it as I do being the next space shuttle pilot. But you wouldn't know anything about building a customer base. These people running at 25%, they're not making any money. But you wouldn't know anything about that because you've always had the government write you a check. You've never had to establish, meet a payroll, and build a business from scratch. You got to take care of your customers. See, that's how it works. And here's another wild concept: they're also paying wages to employees that they probably don't need, that are generating taxes that are paying your wages. And here in rural America, you want to shut down some of these rural businesses. Your boss is broke. The government's broke. And there'll come a time where you won't be able to depend on them. So, but let's hang it in some farmer or rancher's ass and tell him he can't sell his product at the business of his choice because you shut him down, shut the business down. And maybe you'll have a little time over the next few years when you're standing in your living room with your mask on, staring out the window at the mailbox, waiting for your government check that isn't never going to come. Okay? And maybe reflect back a little bit on the consequences of your actions. And you guys show up at some of these rural businesses. I've learned through experience, not only administering, but also being on the receiving end of several ass whoopings. You may want to show up and be a little more equipped than just a pencil and a big chief pad. I'll talk to you again next week.